Prop clear, and then start her up.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to check the engines, and we're going to check a few other things. So this is a run-up, so hold your brakes for me. We already got them. Fuel on the proper tank. Looks like right tank. Left tank's good. Okay, on the left tank, cool.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, trim set for takeoff. This is a weird plane. It's actually up here.
Oh, okay.
In this plane, takeoff is at neutral, so right there. Flight controls. So I'm going to check mine.
Your controls.
So, elevator up. Elevator down, and if you use your thumbs, it tells you which aileron is going to come up. Now your controls.
My controls do the same thing?
Yeah, same thing. We're checking to make sure they're free and clear, that they're doing the right. And in this plane, you can't really see the elevator, but go ahead and pull back and make sure that nothing's getting snagged back there. Annunciator lights, we don't really have those in this plane. Instruments. Okay, so now what we're going to do, keep holding those brakes. We're going to run this thing up at 2,000 RPM. And we're looking for smooth operation right now. And now we're going to check everything. We're not moving, so that shouldn't be, we should have 0. That should match closely to what that is.
Okay.
Line on line, point on point. That should be 0, we're not climbing. Our altitude should read roughly what it should be. Almost every trainer airplane in the world is about 5 PSI on the vacuum, and then just make sure all this stuff's in the green right here.
Okay.
All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and we're going to check each mag. We're all watching this while we're doing it.
Okay.
So go to the right. So 2 clicks over. 1, 2. Looking for a slight drop. We don't want more than 175. Back to both. Now we're looking for the left mag. Down. Back to both. It was less than 100 in this plane, and I can't remember if it's 150 or 175 in this plane, but it's good in either case.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to check the carb heat. We're going to pull this out, and we should get a drop. Now we're going to check to make sure that the airplane doesn't die with it in carb heat, because if we use carb heat on landing and that dies, that's not good. Didn't die, we're good to go. All right, so once again, mixture best power. Let's see, primer in and lock, just double check the primer, make sure it's not going to come out on us. We tested the mags, we tested the carb heat, we tested the vacuum. The amps and volts, this plane got the amps, but we can't turn the generator off in this plane. Alright, so fuel press, we checked that. Oil press, we're going to check the oil pressure again. This plane does ride a little bit on the line here until we get going. And then oil temp, we checked that a second ago. Idle check closed. When we closed it, it didn't die. And then you can also adjust this. All right, so that's up on the run up. For the pre-takeoff, flaps are up.
Okay.
For normal takeoffs, mixture best power, that's full rich in this plane. And at this altitude, fuel pump on. This one's going to be, so it's going to be left of that, yep. And you're going to be messing with that a lot, so just kind of make a mental note of where that is.
Okay.
Carb heat off. This is the most important thing on a single engine takeoff. Carb heat off. You could die if you don't turn that off, because you won't have nearly enough power sometimes to climb. Let's see. Where am I? Okay, high to compass. So heading indicator to compass. We already did that. Make sure I have my door closed and locked. Lights. You can go ahead and turn the landing light on. Not required. And we're already out on the clock. Time, notes, brake release. It's 16:52. We got an hour and a half flight. All right. Are you about ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. So get us over there. Taxi us over there to 05. We're going to take off 05, and then we're going to come back this way and depart to the west. So, yeah, when you're taxiing, slide to move and brakes to the tops to stop or turn sharply. And then once we get aligned on the runway, you're going to slide your heels to the floor. but wait till you get aligned on the runway.
Okay.
All right, we're taking off this direction. We're looking this direction to make sure nobody's coming. I know those clouds look really bad, but I did check them. We're totally fine today. Try to stay on the yellow line if you can. All right, go ahead and stop us right here. Check that way, final's clear, and go ahead and taxi forward. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, taking runway 5 for a west departure. We're going to be departing on a left downwind from 05, North Little Rock. We're ready to go. All right, so look at the sock. We have a slight left to right crosswind, so keep this aileron right where it's at.
Okay.
And get us on the runway. Yeah, feed in all that power.
Okay.
Yeah. Slowly start getting us back over here playing Pac-Man.
Okay.
Now we get looking at two things, mostly outside. Oil pressure's in the green, and now just watching for our airspeed. It's coming alive. We're waiting for 60 knots. Hello. Dumb thing quit working on me there for a second. I couldn't talk. So come down just a little bit. Point the nose down. Point the nose down. I'm just avoiding those birds right there.
Okay.
All right, so now watch this and just climb at 70 knots.
Okay.
And we're getting blown over, so yeah, just crab like that a little bit.
Can't hear you.
Test, test, test.
There we go.
I don't know why that's having issues. Okay, this is looking good though. All right, so we have tight airspace. Usually you drive it out a little bit farther. So,
Right.
but go ahead and make the left-hand turn. Clear left, and take a look out there where you're about to turn. All right, roll out here for a second. Take a look over there.
Okay.
Clear left, come back to the left. He's not climbing very well because, one, this airplane is pretty weak, but two, we've got some pretty crazy winds right now. It is kind of uncomfortable. This thing is really weak right now.
Should I still be at full power?
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. That's why.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
should be at full power.
There we go. I think it's my fault. I'm just...
That's my fault. I should have been listening to the engine more and watching the RPM. Always climb at full power.
Okay.
No matter what, always climb at full power.
Yeah, that was my fault. I didn't have... Only after we got off the ground, I let the power out just a little bit.
Oh, it's all good.
So.
Come this way. This is a little bit weird, but there's an airfield right here that we're going to try to avoid.
Okay.
North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, departing on a left downwind 05, North Little Rock.
What altitude are we looking for?
So right now we're looking for 1600.
Okay.
And so we have this right here. See that?
Right, yes, sir. I've lost your audio.
Come right.
Okay.
Are you hitting this?
I might be.
I think you might be hitting that while we're not talking. Come right. Oh yeah, that's what's happening here. So this is the radio out.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what I was doing. I was probably holding on that. We coming right some more?
Yeah, come right and see this like giant hangar looking thing right here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just stay south of that. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to be watching this.
Okay.
So now I'm going to start giving you some radio calls here. And this is your call sign right here.
Okay.
All right, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, climb and maintain 1,800.
Cherokee 7348 Juliet, maintain 1,800.
Yeah, all you got to do is say 1,800 Cherokee 7348 Juliet.
Okay.
I'm not trying to nitpick you.
No, I've never done the radio portion at all, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing it. I'm just trying to get you, pitch me down just a little bit here.
My angle
Looking
too.
for 70 knots.
Okay.
Okay, so when you respond to a radio call, we're trying to say the least amount of possible.
Okay.
So come back with a number and then that. All right, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, make a right turn to 310.
Right turn 310, 7348 Juliet.
Perfect. Camp Robinson traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 3 miles to the south, westbound, Camp Robinson. Yeah, this is looking good. All right, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, turn left heading 300.
Left heading 300, 734, Juliet.
Good. Pitch me down just a little bit. We don't want to get too slow. We're trying to fly 70. All right, Cherokee 7348 Juliet. Turn right, heading 310.
310, 7348 Juliet.
Good. Like I said, I'm just giving these to you so you can start getting used to responding. Because like when you start talking on the radios, that's also going to be difficult.
So we're at 1,800 feet. Do I need to bring my nose down just a little bit?
Yeah, stay right here.
Okay.
Let's we're not going to hit any Class Charlie right here, but let's just stay right here for a minute and we'll get out of this airspace. And you can see on this little guy, this green right here, is the edge of the airspace.
Is it? Okay, that's what I was fixing to ask.
Cherokee 7348 Juliet, climb and maintain 3,000.
3,000 feet, 7348 Juliet.
That's good, good. All right, I'm going to make it harder on you. Cherokee 7348 Juliet, continue climb 3,000, turn left heading 290.
Climb 3,000, left heading 30, to November 738, 48 Juliet.
290.
290.
No problem, no problem. All right, Cherokee 73, don't touch it, but Cherokee 7348 Juliet, squawk 0112.
Squawk 0112, 7348 Juliet.
All right, go ahead and make a left turn. I'm sorry, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, turn left heading 240.
Left heading 240, 7348 Juliet.
We just got some clouds over there. That thunderstorm's well clear now.
Good.
There's just some clouds now. All right, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, stop climb at 2,500.
Stop climb 2,500, 7348 Juliet.
All right, man, you're gonna do good on you're gonna do fine on the radios. Let's see. Yeah, this is looking good. So we'll stop at 2,500 and keep going out here. Okay, so we've basically done basic aircraft control stuff. So now what we're going to do is we're going to allow the airplane to speed up here at 2,500.
Okay.
Now I want you to take a look here at your ball.
Okay. Yep.
See that?
Yep.
If your ball gets out of that little thing,
I need to step on the ball.
step on the ball. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're needing a little bit of right rudder. So at high power settings, like on takeoff. At
Right.
low air speeds, like we are right now. We're speeding up, so it's going to get less and less like that. And then, yeah, so high power settings, low air speeds, that's when you need it the most. Now that we're kind of starting to speed up, let's pull that power back just a touch so she doesn't get too much. 2,400 is a good number for out here kind of piddling around.
Okay.
And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do clearing turns. And before you do any maneuver, you want to do clearing turns because you want to make sure nobody's going to run into you while you're training. And so what we're going to do is we're going to stay at 2,500, and we're basically going to make at least a 90-degree turn looking all around.
Okay.
And then we're going to go back at least 90 degrees. If you go past there, that's fine. Let's go ahead and go all the way to make a left turn to 120. Now look outside when you're doing this. You're scanning the area.
So at what rate do I need to make the, how fast?
All right, that's a good question. I would use this 30-degree mark, which is this first big tick mark.
Okay.
And take quick glances down at your ball while you're doing that. And you'll notice like you need just a little bit of right rudder. Yeah, this is looking good. And then you can take a quick glance over here. We need just a touch more power. Mostly looking outside. Now, a little bit of gamesmanship. Anytime you make a left or right turn, if you're turning left, you say clear left.
Okay.
And then you start looking. If you turn right, say clear right as a question. That's going to force me to help you look too.
Okay.
And then back to the right. Come back to the right.
Clear right?
Clear. And on your check ride, he's going to be like, basically forcing him to look, because he needs to be it's your responsibility, but he needs to help you, especially on this side, because he's blocking your view.
What altimeter setting do I need to go to?
All right, so 2,500, so we're a little high. So
I feel like the airplane, I think it needs trimmed. They were pushing me up consistently.
I'm glad I intentionally didn't tell you about it because I wanted you to feel that. Now, this is yours.
Okay.
You have this at your advantage right now, so use this however you need. So this will give you nose down.
Okay, that's a lot better.
So this is yours all day.
Okay.
From now on, you have free control to use this how you need. But this relieves those control pressures.
Okay. I'm going to drop back down to about 2,500 feet.
Perfect. And then come back around just a little bit more. Let's come to 270 and continue this clearing turn.
Okay.
Get yourself set up on 270, 2,500.
Okay. 270, 2,500 feet.
Perfect. Now we're now we're basically set up. We're going on a westbound heading at 270. I don't see anybody out here.
Okay.
I don't hear anybody out here. Let's just make a couple turns all the way around.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's just focus on trying to keep your altitude and use that 30-degree bank turn all the way to east.
Okay.
And just
So that'd be a full 180 there?
yeah, just 180 degrees at 30 degrees all the way around.
Left or right?
Start out left.
Left. All right, clear left.
Roger. Now, something to think about when you make that initial turn.
Okay.
It's going to take a little bit of backstick pressure to keep you from descending.
Okay.
At 30 degrees, it's not going to take much, but just a little bit. And in addition to that, it might need a bump of power to keep you from descending. Because you're when you're in a bank like that, and you start pulling those G's, you're at a higher angle of attack.
Right.
Good. And so lead this turn about 10 degrees prior to east. So just watching your heading there.
So roll it out 10 degrees?
So, yeah, right about here, start rolling
Okay.
out. And then notice, as you're rolling out, you need right rudder. So when you use these together, my controls for a second.
Your controls?
When you use these for a second, think of these as being glued together.
Okay.
When I move the left, I need to push on the left pedal. When I move right, I need to push on the right pedal. That's because of something called adverse yaw.
Right.
Because these ailerons, they're creating drag out there. So your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. So give me a right turn back to 270. Clear right.
All right, clear right.
Clear. A little more right rudder. All right, so one thing to think about too is we have a lot of left turning tendencies in this airplane. Pull back just a little bit more. That'll keep us from descending with less rudder. There you go. Just keep that ball centered. It's kind of weird because this airplane has left turning tendencies, most trainers do. And so what you'll find is that zero is kind of like that. And so you need the same amount of rudder, but you almost need to, like, the rudder to be like slightly offset, maybe like a half inch. Think of it like that. Okay, so now go ahead and level this off here at 2,500. Nobody's still out here. We're going to do some slow flight.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to slow the airplane down. And what you're going to find, go ahead and roll out here. Just put that nose on the horizon. You're primarily looking outside at the horizon. And I know it's tough to see right now with all those clouds. So actually come back to 180. Let's try 180.
To what?
A 180 heading.
Okay.
And that's south on this compass. It doesn't have a 18. Okay, so I've got the controls for a second.
Your controls?
Okay, so I've got a little bit of nose down right now, so I'm going to pull that back up so I don't have to. And when you have it trimmed properly, the airplane will basically fly itself, with the exception of rudder pressure. It will basically do what you need it to. And you can you can fly the airplane with trim. I don't recommend it really, but when you have an autopilot on, it will actually steer the airplane with trim.
Wow.
Okay, so we're at 2,500. Your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. And just kind of gently hold those controls. You don't need much. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slow the airplane down. And we're going to lower the flaps. And we're going to fly slow flight. And so what slow flight is, it's going to be the bottom of the white arc in this plane. So it's going to be like 50 knots roughly.
Okay.
And so we'll get the fuel pump on. We're in the white arc. So we're going to go ahead and pull just a little bit of power. Start getting it slowed down. Tell me what you feel when I've lowered this first notch of flaps. Try to keep us level. What'd that feel like?
Just slow this down.
Okay. How about I'm going to lower both of them now?
Oh, wow.
What'd that
Pull
feel
the
like?
nose down.
Yeah, dip the nose down, but we're also, we might have climbed just a touch too. So that's what flaps do, is they allow your center of gravity to move forward, but they also create more lift. So now watch your airspeed.
Okay.
So now what we're doing is we're getting on the backside of the power curve. And so now, in order to maintain your altitude, you need to use power. So hold your hand on the throttle there.
Okay.
And don't let the airplane sink down below 2,500. Just keep us here at 2,500. And you're using pitch, the airplane's pitch like this, to control your airspeed. Keep us right at 50 knots, just like you are. And take a look at your rudder. That's looking good.
Yeah.
And at these low power settings, you're going to need more rudder. Okay, so when you do slow flight, you don't want to use all 30 degrees. Just stick it right somewhere in the middle, about 15 degrees.
Okay.
So come left, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, turn left heading 210.
210, 7348 Juliet. It's different when you're already.
What were you saying?
I was saying it's different when you're already when your yoke is already at a weird angle. It's different.
Yeah, it is. So part of that is because of the winds up here. We're more susceptible to those winds. So keep the turn coming to 210.
Okay.
Yeah, this is looking good. Okay, so roll out there. Notice we're getting faster, so pitch up just a little bit. And when you do that, you might need to pull the power back just a touch so you don't climb.
Okay.
You kind of have to use them together.
Gotcha.
This is looking great, though.
To maintain altitude and airspeed.
Yeah.
Correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so come back right to 270.
All right, clear right.
Clear. Little less bank.
West bank.
Yeah, just in these slow flight. Yeah, that's looking great. Okay, my controls for a second.
Your controls?
My controls for a second, and I'm going to pull some of that those control pressures out so she'll just fly herself around because I'm lazy. That's the poor man's autopilot.
There you go.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to you a stall. I just want you to take note of what we're doing.
Okay.
And usually for stalls, we start in the power off configuration, like we're going into land. And so guess what? Slow flight, we're in the landing configuration
right.
now. So I'll run the checklist though. Seatbelts on, fuel selector valve. Left is fine for now. Get the fuel pump on still. Landing and taxi light. Oh, we'll go ahead and turn those off. We don't need those. And flaps are up. I'm sorry, flaps are down. I'm going to leave the carb heat off. We don't need it. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to get on a southbound heading, and we're going to act like we're about to land for just a second. So idle power. I'm going to pitch down. Like, remember what my landing speed was?
60 knots.
Yeah, 60 knots. So I'm going to come down like I'm about to land. I touch 60 knots, and then I come up here, and I'm just going to act like I'm about to land, and then watch this, what happens. He's starting to stall. There it is, power. First notch of flaps. Let the airplane build up a touch of airspeed and then bring it back up. The most important thing, breaking the stall, so push the nose down.
Okay.
Power, first notch of flaps. This happens to be the same exact procedure as, and I'm trying to maintain my heading, happens to be the same procedure as go-around procedure.
Okay.
Starting to climb. Let's lower that second notch. That positive rate of climb, 70 knots, will raise all the flap. And then that's done. If you ever need to get into a situation where you're coming into land and you need to go around, immediately full power, first notch of flaps, first notch of flaps, start climbing, put that nose on the horizon just like you're doing takeoff, let the airplane climb. Once it's starting to climb, second notch. Once you're climbing and 70 knots, flaps up after takeoff checklist.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what would happen if we stalled on takeoff. And let's see. Get back on a southbound heading here. I think our heading indicator might need to be slaved again. 2-1. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so fuel pump's on. Carb heat's off, flaps are up, just like a normal takeoff. What would happen if we push the power in and we just decided to pitch way up like this? Well, you can see we're already getting a stall indication. Right. And she's going to stall. There it is. I'm already at max power. Relax the backstick pressure. Pitch the nose down. Let it build up some airspeed. Back up. Well, I'm already at flaps up. Let me hand it over to you in a normal configuration.
So when you're in that stall, you have to pitch the nose back down to recover your...
That is the most important thing about a stall, is pitching down. Because what causes a stall is exceeding your critical angle of attack.
Right.
And so by breaking the stall, okay, let's turn the fuel pump off. Landing light's already off. We're out of that configuration. And we're going to go do some landings now. But I wanted to talk about that because I don't usually like the student to do stalls on the first one, but I like you to see a stall because what could happen if we pitch up too aggressively or don't have enough power in and we pitch up?
Traffic.
You know, you can stall, so like break the stall, power, and then get that notch out if you have it, and then start trying to climb. If you have carb heat in, you need to turn that off as well. All right, you ready to take over?
Yes, sir.
All right, your controls.
My controls.
And just stay here at 2,000 feet.
Straight east.
Yeah, this is good for now.
Okay.
Just kind of this heading. All right, I'm just putting this airport in here so we can see where to go. Turkey 734 Juliet, turn right heading 134.
134, 7348 Juliet. Clear right?
Clear. Okay, so we'll just stay at 2,000 for now.
Okay.
We're going to this little airport over here, and you're going to be expected to, you know, look at this when you're flying, but I'll kind of talk you through it. And actually, I think I can see the airport right here. But so this airport has a runway 2 and a runway 20. So we need to get the weather and see where the winds are coming from. Well, they're probably coming from the same as what we just were, so they're probably coming out of the northeast. Okay. But we're still going to check it. 132, 125.
Saline County Regional Airport. Automated weather observation 2222 Zulu. Wind 070 at 6 knots. Visibility 9er. Sky condition few at 6,000. Few at 9,000. Temperature 29 Celsius. Dew point 2 Celsius. Altimeter 297 inches of mercury.
297.
Remarks. Density altitude
Come up just a little bit. It's at 2970 right now. Just under 8.
For instrument clearance from ground, call
there?
Little Rock approach.
That's probably pretty
501
Okay.
37.
Let me make a radio call. Saline County, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 7.5 miles to the northwest. Gonna enter a right downwind for 02, Saline County. Okay, so runway 2, so winds are 070. So runway 2 is pointed 20. So that's the best runway. They have right patterns on that side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly over the airport and enter a right downwind.
Okay.
So a right rectangle basically for that runway over there. I don't hear anybody over there, so we're going to do the alternate method of just climbing and entering, or sorry, descending and entering the downwind that way on that side of the airfield.
Okay.
But I'll make all the radio calls. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a touch and go, okay? And this, we didn't really talk about this on the ground. We talked about landing and a bunch of other stuff, but we didn't talk about the touch and go too much. What I want you to do when we touch down is I want you to continue to steer and point the nose down the tracks.
Okay.
Keep the nose tracking. I want you to take a breath. Then I want you to turn the carb heat off.
Okay.
And then I want you to lower all the flaps.
Taking runway 2
and then
for departure. We'll be departing to the southwest. Be a left turn out to southwest.
You'll see why I'm talking about taking a breath, because you're going to be like, oh, the end of the runway is coming. It's fine. We got plenty of runway. All right, come left a little bit more.
To the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the airport over there. So we're at 2,000 feet right now, and that airfield is at 389, so 1,400 is going to be patterned.
So can you see the airport from here?
Yeah, I can see it. So this, you're probably not going to be able to see it yet, because I've been here quite a few times,
right.
So I kind of know where it is. Usually look for cutouts in trees, and there's like a water tower right there. It's to the right and after the water tower. But we're going to overfly the airfield, and then we're going to go right, and then just basically make a rectangle down. And so radio calls that you have to make at these untowered airfields. 10 miles, not required, but most people make a 5-mile. Downwind, base, final. Those are the...
Traffic 17 Lima Hotel, clear runway 20, making a left turn to the southwest. Those are the... Traffic 17 Lima Hotel, clear runway 20, making a left turn to the southwest.
Yeah.
I see something.
Okay.
Right there flying to the left. You see what I'm talking about, though? And like I said, it may just be a bird. I can't tell. They look white, though.
Oh, it's... Okay, I see him, yeah. He's no factor. I don't think that was the same guy on the radio. It's probably going to be a little bumpy today, and this is also a very hazy day.
Right.
Oh, come right, come right. All right, your controls.
My controls?
Your controls.
Ready to put the power back in, or are we good?
Yeah, put the power back in. I was looking for him, but I didn't see him.
I didn't realize he was right there. I seen him over there.
Somebody else was climbing straight out.
Yeah, that may be the one I've seen as well.
All right, we're good. Just go that way still.
Okay.
All right, so we can start running checklists out here. So this is fine. Keep coming that way.
Okay.
All right, seatbelts on. Fill selector valve. Come to the right tank for me.
Do what now?
Reach down and switch that tank to right tank.
Okay.
I can take this for a second.
Okay.
My controls. All right, your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. All right. Go ahead and turn the fuel pump on for me. All right, mixture best power. That's already set. And we'll do the rest here in just a second.
Okay.
We're over the field. Saline County, Cherokee 7348 Juliet. Overflying for a right downwind 02, Saline County. Okay, start slowing us down and start slowly descending us. So go ahead and pull the power to idle. We
Okay.
need to get down to about 1400.
So pull the power all the way out?
Yeah.
Clear,
We need to get
clear
down,
right?
Clear. Need to get down and no rush. And take a look out here. We're tight, so keep coming that way just a little bit.
Okay.
This is kind of weird. The primary method is to go out and teardrop in and come that way.
Oh, okay.
As this will save us a little bit of time. But this is gonna be kind of a messed up pattern. We're already in the wide arc. Let's go ahead and lower. We're gonna lower 2 notches of flaps, non-standard. Usually I lower 1 notch, but with everything going on and we're high, go ahead and lower 2.
Okay.
So now we're pitching for 70 knots.
Okay.
Just keep this heading for just a minute. This is going to be a longer pattern here, but we're going to get a setup on final. We've got the first notch in. We're going to go ahead and use carb heat. Since it is kind of hazy, I don't know if that's just like oak or if that's actual stuff. So this is looking great, man. Go ahead and make a right turn for me.
Okay, clear right.
Clear. Looking good over here. Just watching that airspeed. Pitch down if we get too slow.
Okay.
We're looking for 70 knots. Keeping us coordinated. Roll out here for just a second. All right, so now start feeding that power in. Now that we're starting to get on our glide slope, put your hand on the throttle. There you go. This is looking great. Now reach down and lower that last notch of flaps. Just pull it straight back. Good. Okay, now we're looking for 60 knots.
Okay.
So pull that power back just a touch. And we do have crosswinds today. And the key for crosswinds is getting aggressive. You got the controls.
Okay.
Getting us over there. Put your hand on the throttle. A little more power. This is looking great, man. This is a tough landing for your first one. So give me right wing down like this and give me a little bit of opposite rudder like that.
Okay.
This is going to keep us from drifting over. This is called the wing low method. You're flying still. This is called the wing low method. We're putting a right aileron in and left rudder.
Pull power out.
Just pull a little bit. This is a good setting. Right, this is doing good.
Okay.
You're still flying. So keep that right wing down and a little bit of top rudder. Now slowly pull that power back to idle and pull the nose up. Just pull it up a little bit less, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Down. Back, 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 back. There. All right, take a breath.
Okay.
Carb heat off. Left up. Full power. Give me right wing down. And just let the airplane build up that airspeed. Looking for 60 knots. Just keep the nose down until we hit it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Pull it up. Yeah, right there. Pull it down. Looking good, man. You just made your first landing.
All right.
All right, my controls.
Your controls?
All right, take a breath. I know that first one.
Yeah, I was sweating profusely.
You have today's a hard day. I didn't brief this because I wasn't sure what kind of crosswinds we were looking at. But on a crosswind landing, it's not like a normal landing where you can just kind of float down. You kind of have to force the airplane to stay in one place. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can either crab down final and fly like sideways like this.
Right.
Or you can put the wing down like this, and you can use opposite rudder. That's the method I like to use. It's called the wing low method.
So opposite rudder of the wing that's down.
Exactly.
Right.
So like.
So in this case, you left rudder or left pedal when your right wing's down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Let me take one. I want you to put your hands on the controls and your feet on the controls.
Okay.
And just feel what I'm doing. Because I think that's good to kind of feel what I'm doing, and then we'll come back around. We'll give you another one. All right. Clear right. All right. Fuel pump staying on. We'll get the landing lights on now. Don't really need the landing lights, but Makes it a little bit easier for people to see us. Climbing up to 1400.
So at a non-towered airport like this, do you not have to make a radio call when you're coming in for landing?
You do.
Oh, you do?
But we were a little bit busy there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I should have called base and final, but we were busy, and I messed that up, so. Saline County, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, right downwind 02, Saline County. Okay, so we're going up to 1400. We're looking for 1,000 feet pattern altitude AGL. So
Okay.
1400 here. And we're just taking a break. You can start running your checklist. Seatbelts on. Fuel selector valve. That looks like a good tank. Fuel pumps on. Landing lights on. We'll get the rest here in just a second. Mixture best power. All right, so when we're at beam our touchdown point, which is roughly the number there,
Okay.
I'm going to pull the power back to about 15 to 1700. We're a little bit low, so I'll probably go like 17. And so 1700. Now I'm pitching for 70 knots, so I'm looking for a little bit more than what I got.
Okay.
First notch of flaps, carb heat on. So now,
So at the first notch of flaps, is that when you pull your carb heat? Is that like pretty routine?
So, yeah.
At that
There's
same
different
time?
times when you need it more. On a sunny day, you may not need it here in Arkansas. All right, I'm getting slow. I'll pitch down.
Saline County, Skyline 388 Alpha Golf, taxiing runway 2, Saline.
All right, put your hands on the controls with me
Okay.
just so you can feel. Put your feet on the rudders. And Saline County, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, right base 02, Saline County. All right, you can put your hands on there, and you can kind of feel like what we're doing here. Right now we got a quartering tailwind. We're looking at base. How's this look to you? Or that second notch of flaps? This is pretty good glide slope. So this is about 3 degrees. Another way is halfway down, halfway around. So 400 plus 5. That's pretty close. I overshot because I wasn't paying attention. All right, so now I'm looking for 60 knots. Saline County, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, final 02, Saline County. Okay, so now we need to get over. And I got blown over because the winds were that crosswind. I should have turned early, but I didn't. So now we're pitching for our airspeed, and we're using power for our altitude.
Okay.
So you can see when I pitched down, it felt like we were getting low. So
Right.
I added that power to kind of offset that. Now we're getting blown over, so I'm going to use like just a little bit of right aileron and just a little bit of left rudder. See that right there?
Okay, yep.
It feels kind of weird. And you can see we're speeding up, so I'm going to pitch the nose up, and we're getting high, so I'm going to pull that power back. And now we're just kind of letting the airplane start to sink down. And I'm using the threshold as my aim point, so I'm a little bit high. So I'm letting that thing settle down. I might be getting a little slow, so I'm pitch down and power at the same time. And then somewhere right in here, I know that I'm going to make the runway right here. So we'll go to idle power, and I'm just going to let the airplane kind of settle. And there's somewhere about right here, I'm just going to bring that nose up and just freeze it here. I'm freeze it here and let it do its thing. I flared a little high, that's why we kind of sank like that, but all right, I'll take a breath. Lower that first notch. Lower the flaps. Carb heat off. Power. All right, how are you feeling?
That was good.
All right.
Yours was a lot better than mine, though.
This next one's going to be good, I promise. All right, you about ready to fly? There's rotate. I let it speed up just a little bit more because of the gusts. All right, we're going to raise the nose just a little bit. We're climbing at 70 knots. All right, your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. Climb us at 70 knots. All right, so now pitch down just a little bit. Got some pretty hairy winds out here today.
So to trim the plane, which way does this need to go?
Okay, so there is a little thing right here that it says down this way,
Okay.
up this way.
So it needs to come down.
Somebody was telling me in this plane for you, on your side, if it hits you in the head, that's raising your head up. That's a good way to remember it in this plane. All right, so
are we going too fast?
no, so the wide arc is a safe speed for flaps. So we don't want to be out of the wide arc and lower all the flaps.
So this wide arc here?
So the little white right here,
Right.
that wide arc is just telling you your true airspeed.
Okay.
So come down to 1800.
Okay.
Just because the Class Charlie comes down over here, and we're going to stay out of that.
To come down to 1800, besides pitching the nose down, you also need to drop the power down as well?
No, I'll usually go like this.
I mean, is our power?
Yeah, so, yeah, you don't want it to go up into the red. Let's come on down to 17.
Okay.
I think the bottom of this shelf is 18 over here. I'll take a look here. Yeah, so 17's good. All right, we'll come do a couple touch and goes over at North Little Rock.
Okay. So, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel the need to constantly be on the right rudder. Is that normal?
Yeah, when you're at high power settings, and it doesn't help us right now because we have like a weird crosswind. So when we're flying north, that's another reason why we're getting that, because the tail's trying to get blown over.
Gotcha.
So once you level off at your cruising altitude, usually you can kind of relax on the rudder, usually at high power settings and slow airspeed.
Okay.
All right, so there's actual Little Rock right there, the big skyscrapers.
Wow.
And then just beyond that, you can see white. That's Adams Field.
Hey, Joel, you up?
Okay, so we're at 10 miles.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll say it again, and then you can make it. You're gonna mess up, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's gonna be North Little Rock, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 10 miles to the west, 1,500 inbound for 05. North Little Rock.
Oh goodness, that's a lot.
If you ever doubt, pull it off. I'll coach you. Continue.
Okay. Say it one more time.
North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 10 miles to the west, 1,500 inbound for 05, North Little Rock.
Okay.
Come right.
Clear what?
Clear right.
Clear right. North Little Rock, this is Cherokee 7348. We're 10 nautical miles west at 1,500 feet, inbound for 50, North Little Rock.
Perfect, man. 05.
What did I say, 50?
You said 50, but man, that was good for our first one.
Close enough, they know what I meant. We're rolling.
All right, clear right.
All right, where are we going?
Nobody makes radio calls that good. Usually they're butchered completely.
So what am I going to? Am I just going straight back to Little Rock?
Cherokee 7348 Juliet, turn right heading 040.
040, 7348 Juliet. I'm losing altitude, so I need to...
Yeah, give yourself some
more power.
Your throttle friction might have loosened on you there. That works right there. This airspace is really tight here, so the big thing here is not going into Class Charlie. So we're below this shelf, and then that inner ring goes all the way down to the surface, so we don't want to go there. So Cherokee 7348 Juliet, turn left heading 030.
Left heading 30, 7348 Juliet.
Good. 030.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going 30.
That's all good. Just come back to 030.
So I definitely have to pay attention to that.
That's one of the reasons why I try to vector you around like that.
Gotcha.
The first, like, a lot of people are like, well, what's 030? What is that? Oh, dude, it's right here. But like, you're actually understanding, but a lot of people don't even understand what I'm talking about when I say that. So. Yeah. I know it seems like things are rough right now, but I promise you, you're light years ahead of a lot of people.
Well, good.
Okay, so I've got the field in sight. So there's Camp Robinson right there.
This airfield here?
Yeah, and we're actually going to this one over here. So come right a little bit more.
Okay.
Kind of towards that water tower. And I'll make this call. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 5 miles to the west, entering a straight in for 05, North Little Rock. I should have said my altitude, but I forgot to do that. All right, so this pattern altitude is 1,600, so you're set up pretty good. And so, you know, we started our descent at being the numbers last time. And what you usually do is you go down a mile, you come back a mile, and then you come back a mile. So that roughly about 3 miles.
So are we going to go all the way around the airfield and come back?
Nope, we're going to land on this runway going this way right here, a straight in.
Oh, okay, we're going straight in.
I know that the FAA typically frowns on straight ins, but this airport right here is in a box. And so a straight in is the best option at this particular airfield. That's why the FAA does not preclude you from doing straight ins for airfields like this where there's really no other option. Or I guess there is an option, but this is really the best option.
So when do we need to start pulling power out?
Okay, so you can go ahead and start backing the power off, and we can start running our checklist. Seatbelts on, fuel selector valve, we got it on the right tank. That's fine. Go ahead and kick on the fuel pump for me. And make sure best power, touch that, make sure it's pushed in over here.
Okay.
Just make sure it's pushed in. You go ahead and turn the, we're on a good glide slope, go ahead and pull the,
power out the idle?
yeah.
Okay.
15 to 1700.
Okay.
We're in the wide arc, first notch of flaps. And then carb heat, go ahead and turn the carb heat on.
Okay.
All right, now what we're looking for is try to put the threshold about a fist length above the dash. This is a good aim point right here.
Okay.
North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 3 mile final, 05, North Little Rock. Yeah, so this is a really good aim point right here. You're starting to sink down a little bit, so give me a little bit more power. And when you're flying on final like this, always keep your hand on the throttle.
Okay.
A little more power.
More?
More. All right, look at your airspeed.
Okay.
Pitch up. We'll start bleeding that airspeed off. All right, so pull that power back just a little bit. Got to kind of use them together. Now our wind is a little bit kind of from that way. So need a little bit of, yeah, good, a little left wing down. But not as much as over there.
Right.
So, yeah, come back over here a little bit. Watch your airspeed pitch up and pull that power back just a touch. Pull that power back, nose up, let that airspeed bleed off. Pull the power back. Nose up just for a second. I'm going to help you out just for a second to get us slowed down.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to help you get those flaps in. That's one of the problems. Nose back down. All right, so you have the controls. I'm just helping you get in a safe situation.
Power still idle.
All right, put a little power in. All right, this is looking good right here. All right, a little less spank.
Power to idle.
Yeah. All right, nose up. Pull back. Right there. Down. Release the power.
Power's out.
Good. All right, take a breath.
Okay.
Carb heat off.
Heat off. Flaps down.
Down.
Power in.
Power in. Full power. All right.
Airspeed's coming alive.
Oil pressure's in the green. Looking for 60. There it is. Rotate. That looks good. All right, just climbing away here. Positive rate. Flaps are staying up. Fuel pump staying on. We'll keep the landing lights off. We'll go ahead and kick those on.
RP. Oh, you already got it.
Yeah.
I think that's my best takeoff yet. Honestly, that one felt the better.
The takeoff was good. Today's a challenging day, and it's because, once again, we have crosswind, but you're over controlling the aircraft is what you're doing. And so when you see, like if we're fast,
right,
make a gentle correction. Don't make an aggressive correction. Make a gentle correction. I got the airplane.
Okay, your controls?
My controls. I know sometimes it's hard to think and talk or think and fly at the same time for you guys. So I like to take the controls.
It's hard to think for me.
Well, me too. But anyway, so you're making really aggressive controls. So what you need to do is, if you see 80 knots here, make a slight pitch up, just a very slight one. See what that gets you. If we're low to the ground and you see that we need to pitch down and put the power in a little bit, because when we're low to the ground, sometimes you need both. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, left downwind 05, North Little Rock. All right, I'm going to have you make the base radio call this time.
Okay.
It'll be North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, left base 05. And you're going to get this landing, but I'm just getting you set up here.
Okay.
I'm going to climb at 60 just to get us all the way up to pattern altitude. A little bit non-standard, but I'm trying to get you set up as best as possible. You can go ahead and start your checklist. So seatbelts on, fuel selector valve on the proper tank, right tank's good.
Fuel pump's on.
Yep, make sure best power, landing and taxi lights on. We'll get the rest to beam the numbers. Okay, I'm going to climb us up just a little more. Okay, when you're ready to take over,
okay,
your controls.
Right, my controls?
Your controls. Pitch us down for 70.
Okay.
All right, right there. Okay, so we're at beam our touchdown point.
Okay.
So we're in the wide arc. First notch of flaps.
All right. You pull power out.
Yep, pull the power. 15 to 1700. Take a look at the runway. Keep coming right. We're getting pushed over there. And then carb heat. Turn your carb heat on. Pull your power back just a little bit more.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Come right a little bit more. All right.
One more?
A little more.
Okay.
All right, make your base turn.
All
And
right.
I want you to make that base call. Watch your speed, pitch down.
Ready to make the call?
Yeah, pitch down a little bit more.
Okay. North Little Rock, this is Cherokee 7348 Juliet. Left base, 05 North Little Rock.
Perfect. Nose down. Nose down. Helping you out there.
Okay.
I'll lower all your flaps. Keep the turn coming. And we're getting blown over. This is a hard pattern in addition to being hard to land. All right, this is looking pretty good. We might be a touch high, so pull that power back.
Okay.
Flaps are in. Carb heat's on. Checklist is complete.
We're going idle power or just power out?
Yeah, you can go to idle for just a second, and then as that glide slope starts coming back up, start feeding that back in.
Okay.
North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, 1 mile final, 05, North Little Rock. A little less than that.
Okay.
I know, it's tough, man. It's
too
windy.
dramatic.
Yeah, so a little bit of right rudder.
Okay.
A little bit more power, just a smidge. A little less bank over there. Yeah, this is looking much better. More power, more power, more power, more power, more power, more power, more power.
Okay.
This is looking good.
Power out.
All right, power out. Yeah, good, good. Nose down. All right, my controls for just a second. All right, your controls.
My controls.
All right, idle power. Good. Now, gently get us stopped straight ahead. I don't care which taxiway we take. Just gently slow us down. Now, in that situation, my controls. I just took the controls so we could talk. So you're not sitting there focused on.
Because we were losing power too fast.
So
it looked like we were dropping.
I mentioned this earlier when we were briefing, but I didn't really want to do any go-arounds today because I think there's more value right now in you getting as many landings as possible. So I didn't see the situation as being dangerous, but in that situation where you're not sure what's happening, never wrong to go around.
Right.
And so I wanted to get as many touch and goes today as possible. And I thought it was important to get the airplane back in a safe situation and just continue the landing. But I didn't see anything unsafe happening. Now, in that situation where you saw we had a sink rate where it was really sinking, that situation you do need to be very aggressive on the controls. That's why I took it just for a second to feed in more power. And then you may not have noticed, but what I did after that, let me make a radio call. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, clear of runway 5, taxi to park via Charlie, North Little Rock. I took the controls, I fed that power, and I took half of it back out to get us back on profile. That was just to get that landing.
Yeah, to get us to the runway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you start doing these more, going around is going to be more important. But I felt like today it was more important for you to get a feel for the airplane.
Right.
And feel what was actually happening. And so I thought it was more valuable to get those control inputs in and feel, so you could see what needed to happen. All right, your controls.
My controls?
Your controls. All right, so we got a runway here. Let's check both ways. North Little Rock traffic, Cherokee 7348 Juliet, crossing 35 at Charlie, North Little Rock. Go ahead and cross. I don't see anybody either direction.
Going left?
Yeah, let's go left, and we'll park in front of the FBO here. All right, my controls.
Controls?
So, what do you think about? What would you say if I told you I was going to pay for this flight?
No. I'm going to pay for the flight. My CFI was a blessing, and so I'm thankful for it. I'll pay for the flight.
I know you are, but I'm going to pay for it.
No, I got it.
I got it. As you let me film, and so this is my treat to you. Use that money and get a good headset.
Well, I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we'll shut this puppy down. So always shut the avionics master off, and we're going to lose the ability to talk. But what we'll do is we'll shut the avionics master off. We're going to shut it off via the fuel mixture, and that's just going to give it the cleanest spark plugs at the end by doing that.